Welcome to Jaja Academy Lahore. Today's topic is I/O unit, input output unit. All input and output devices that are connected to our computer system are connected to the I/O unit or input output unit. The I/O devices are not directly connected to the system bus, and its reason is the I/O devices are different from one another. And how they are different from one another? They can differ in their organization or in their structure. Their data transfer rate can be different and they support different formats of data. That is why they are not directly connected to the system bus. They are connected to the I/O unit and then I/O unit is connected to the system bus. In this picture, you can see all input and output devices are connected to the I/O unit and then this I/O unit is connected to the system bus. And the second reason of connecting these I/O devices to the I/O unit is if they are directly connected to the CPU, then it is difficult for CPU to control the I/O devices because they waste a lot of CPU time. And the wastage of CPU time is not affordable. It decreases the overall performance of CPU. In order to maximize the performance of CPU, a special hardware component, I/O unit, is used to avoid all such difficulties. And it works like an interface between CPU and I/O devices. Here you see the I/O unit is an interface between CPU and I/O devices. It is just like an intermediary between CPU and I/O devices. And it performs all input-output operations without involving CPU directly. The main responsibilities of I/O unit are it monitors the state of different devices attached to it and it manages the speed difference between the CPU and input-output devices. Now let's discuss how the data is transferred from I/O devices to CPU. There are two ways to transfer data, by using interrupts and by using DMA. DMA stands for Direct Memory Access. Let's discuss the first method, interrupt. Let's understand the meaning of interrupt. Suppose two people are communicating with each other. Meanwhile, a third person comes and interrupts their communication. Now the person being interrupted will stop its ongoing conversation and will pay his attention to the person who interrupted him. So due to this interruption, this conversation or this meeting is suspended. Suppose this is CPU and it is an I/O device. So interrupt is a signal generated by I/O device to tell CPU that I/O devices are ready to perform I/O operation. Now the CPU suspends all other processing and starts performing the I/O operation. This data transfer scheme has some advantages and disadvantages. The advantage of this scheme is it requires no additional hardware and it is simpler to implement. But the disadvantage of this scheme is it reduces the overall performance of CPU, as the CPU has to stop its ongoing operations and has to pay attention to the input-output devices. And we know that the I/O devices are always in operation. So if they interrupt again and again to the CPU, then CPU will not be able to perform other important tasks, the other important operations. This scheme will affect the overall performance of CPU. Now let's see the second way of transferring data from I/O devices to the CPU. This method is known as DMA. DMA stands for Direct Memory Access. In this scheme, a special hardware component called DMA controller is used to transfer data between main memory and IO devices without involving CPU all the time. Actually, when we enter data through the input devices, the data is stored into memory, and when CPU wants to send this data to the external devices, to the output devices, the data is sent from memory. So, a special hardware component, direct memory access controller, is used here so that it doesn't involve the CPU all the time. The direct memory access controller involves the CPU to initialize and to finalize the input output process. But the actual IO process is managed by the DMA controller. It means in order to complete the input output operation, the DMA controller involves CPU twice. First, when the process has to be started, and secondly, at the completion of the IO operation. So it reduces the burden of CPU. So during the actual input output operation, the CPU needs not to be involved in this operation. The all activity is managed by direct memory access controller. And during this time, CPU is free to perform its own important operations. This is how the DMA controller reduces the burden of CPU. Advantage of this technique is it increases the overall performance of CPU because it does not involve CPU all the time. And the disadvantage of this technique is it requires additional hardware, the DMA controller, and it is more complex. Thank you for watching. For more computer science lectures, subscribe to my channel.